video, we're gonna make a dimensional proof mining drill. Lava, void, and water all covered. You may ask, why did we decide to do this? Well, mining in the nether can be quite of a hassle. You have your mining drill that, according to you, all just perfectly fine. It doesn't have any leaks, and thus, it should be able to resist lava. But when it comes to it, you realize, it goes in, and absolutely wrecks it. You then think to yourself, it's time for an upgrade. I'm gonna make it so it places blocks inside it, protecting the rails at all times. Your idea is good, but you will realize something. Lava still goes through and destroys your rail. How is this possible? You're supposed to have blocked every single entrance, didn't you? Simple answer is you didn't. And thus, while we are teaching you how to make this lava-proof mining drill. But before we get into that, be sure to rave high that red subscribe button for more awesome tutorials in modded Minecraft. How exactly are we gonna build it? Because yes, it's right behind me, it works. But how can you do this? Well, for that, I prepared for you some little blueprints that are easy to follow and should be shown on screen right now. We do have to consider something about this machine. There's one very important setting that goes to it, and it depends on these ones, you know. We have to make this be a 2, 2, 3. We cannot make it be a really high number. One way to do this is you press Ctrl or Command if you're on Mac, and you scroll down one of this and you get them all the way down to 2. What is this gonna show us? This is gonna show us that these deployers right here are not gonna stick to the block in front of them. This is a clear example of what you don't want to happen. Right here the deployer is stuck to the redstone block and now it's part of the build. This is gonna make it so stuff that goes here is not truly gonna be lava proof. We cannot allow that to happen. And yeah, as you saw in the blueprints, it's quite costly in the materials, mostly the deployers. But there's a very important reason why we need so many of them, which is 12 for the perimeter, 9 for the core, and an extra one to place our rails. And the reason is, the way this thing works is it places blocks all in front of it, which will delete the lava, and the ones in the corners, or perimeter, however you want to call it, are gonna stay there, which is gonna allow us to have a 3x3 tunnel in the center, where lava will not be able to go through, and we're just gonna be able to walk through. In case you are in the end, this is also gonna make you a void tunnel where you can easily cross. What's the important thing about this? It has to have a lot, and I mean a lot of the block it's mining, you know? In case of the nether, I recommend netherrack is probably the one you're gonna mostly use, because if it doesn't have this netherrack, it's not gonna be able to make the whole thing to protect you. If you're in the overworld, just shift this one on the bottom, change it up to a cobblestone block, and that's gonna be all you need because you're not gonna have netherrack, so nothing else is gonna work, only this one. And this one is important because that's where, in case there's an empty space like right here, it's gonna place 2 blocks, and then this guy afterwards is gonna place the rails down so the track can keep on moving. For you end players, you can have the whole tunnel or you can have a 1x1 if you only change this block, that's up to you. But all of these have to be activated in case you want to get to the nether, because lava pools spawn everywhere, you know, and in the overworld, in case you wanna be sure to not drown with some water, because there's a ton of places filled with water, mostly when you are mining underneath an ocean, you're also gonna have to have this. The thing is, with cobblestone it's gonna take a little bit longer to mine since stone is longer to mine than netherrack, but it shouldn't really matter because these ones right here are also gonna be mining at the same time. Which makes me to the first point. This part here is the indispensable part, the core. Without all that is with these deployers to behind it, the thing cannot work. Everything to the sides can be chopped off and the machine is still gonna work. Why do we have this then? This is more an overworld functionality than a nether one. The nether one is this part, this for the overworld. As you can see, we have it divided every 2 blocks. what does this do? This makes it so after you go through, you can have these huge tunnels and you can mine by yourself everything that is here, 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 up, down, every single place that the track didn't touch by itself, which is a really good thing as well, because you open up way more area than if you only were to leave this, and you occupy way less resources than if you put a mining drill in every single bit. Now, why don't we see this baby in action, shall we? So, let's do what we must. Place a block of redstone here, place the cart assembly below this exact chassis right here. And it has to be this one because if not, it's not gonna stick. Then you get your good old trusty minecart. Oh, also, this plow right here is gonna be picking up the rails afterwards, so you don't need an infinite amount of rails in order to make it work. And you only need like, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, and with 4 it's gonna work perfectly. Anyway, let's pick it up and start digging. First up is the nether, and as you can see, where it starts, it makes this tunnel right here, which is the one I was talking about, while also building in the front of it, it's gonna have the whole wall. And why did I send it atop of the other drills? Obviously to exert dominance, but in order for you to see what it does to this lava lake right here, the one that no other drill had been able to survive. And now the moment of truth, the lava lake. Will this machine be able to cross it? I mean, of course it will! I've already tested before, but I want you guys to see what it does exactly, how it does it, which is the most important part. Because it goes through here, slowly but surely, and as you can see, it's already outside of it, as if nothing had happened. And what can we see inside? Well, we can see all of the blocks that were already here from the previous ones stay here. But all of this netherrack is where lava got actually filtered from. Now lava cannot go through, and thus this machine can effectively mine through the nether. Our next stop is the overworld, and don't worry, it sometimes places originally a little bit weird, but as you can see, once again it does the netherrack tunnel. That's because it still got netherrack, but in case it didn't, it wouldn't be placing stuff there. Now, the thing that differs from the overworld to the nether is this main tunnel. Yes, it may uncover some ores like right here it did, but your true gold mine is gonna be to the sides. And by the way, you can just expand it as long as you want. If you keep the same pattern, it's gonna have the same effectiveness of pretty much uncovering every single block in all the area. And with these tunnels, it's gonna uncover a ton of blocks. You know, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks. You've uncovered 8 blocks and you mine every single other one. So you're gonna have a ton of resources as well. And as you can see, the overworld is way less hostile. The other two designs work perfectly in the overworld, except when they find a lava lake or water lake, but since those are way more uncommon, they should also work. But this one just is a little bit overkill and assures you everything is gonna work. And before we go to the end, I want to show you another really interesting thing that you can do with minecart assembles. Now, what do I have here? I simulated a blaze spawner. This is something you would do in the fortress or in a dungeon. Right underneath the spawner, the only thing you gotta do is place your redstone block, your rail, and your minecart assembler, and you effectively have movable spawners. You just pick them up. Let's say you wanna place it right here, because right here you have a grinder of sort. Just place it, break it, and voila, you just move a spawner. Now, onto the last bit, end mining. I must admit, end mining is way more niche, and most mods don't actually add end doors, nor are there end doors in vanilla Minecraft, but in case you wanted to do it, you can do it as easily as in any other dimension. Yeah, as you can see, I let this thing roaming around the whole island just to try to tell you how it works in the void. Because, well, I didn't expect this island to be that big, but the moment of truth is coming out. The drill is about to get into the void, and while it does, I'm gonna tell you something quite important about it, and is be sure that it has enough blocks. Because in case it doesn't, there's a chance, not a high one because it's more than likely to stay where the rail stops, but there's a chance that if you do this in the end, it may be able to fall into the void, and we don't want it, you know? Because right here, it's making its little tunnel, as we could see if we were inside of it. Yeah, it's making its little end tunnel, and it's gonna keep on doing this all the way through. It's also gonna speed up once it's done with the endstone, because netherrack is way easier to mine, as you can see right here. And yeah, this can also simulate a cave in the overworld. Of course, this is an extremely massive cave, but the point keeps going, you know? It's just something that it's gonna go on as long as it has blocks to go on. Just be careful, because I'm quite sure you wouldn't want to lose this. It's really, really expensive when it comes to andesite. Because, well, create mode and andesite don't mix well together. They just use a lot of it! Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, remember as always to leave a like and a comment down below and subscribe in order to be getting more awesome content. We'll see you later, Rich. That was not fun.